Good afternoon. We are here today at the New York State Bridge Authority meeting, October 17th, 2013. We're in a different location. We're in Newburgh, New York, instead of Highland, New York.
Or Beacon.
Or Beacon, New York. We took a tour of the bridge, the decking of the bridge. It was very interesting. I think we all have a better handle on how this whole process is going to work and how our money is going to be spent. Well worth it. And I'd like to commend Bill and your staff and everybody involved and your hard effort to make it become a reality.
Thanks.
With that, I'd like to introduce the commissioners. We have Commissioner Rod Dressel on my left. We have Commissioner Bain Lashua. We have Assistant Executive Director Tara Sullivan. We have Commissioner Roger Higgins. We have, sitting at the table, our engineer, Bill Moreau. Sorry. We have our counsel, Mr. Whitback, and we have our executive director, Joseph Ruggiero, and myself, Richard Gerantine, as chairman. I'd like to start the meeting today with the adoption of the regular board meeting, the September 19th meeting. Everyone has a copy. Motion to approve.
Move to accept the minutes.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next, we have our administration, OGS gasoline contracts.
Yeah, I'm sitting in for Bob on this one.
Okay.
He explained to you last month on the fuel services that we take advantage of the OGS contract. So we did the diesel last month, and now we have a contract in place for unleaded fuel. So we just like a resolution to authorize us to use that OGS contract.
So moved.
Second. Discussion. If not, roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next,
Thank you.
Bill, you have your stuff on your engineering and maintenance.
Yeah, we have two new design assignments for construction projects proposed for next year. These were both in our capital program that we approved a few months back. The first one is system-wide substructure repairs for all the bridges up and down the river. Despite the fact that we had a number of proposals requested, only two consultants responded. You can see on the back page there, Floyd Albert and McLaren. Floyd Albert has done this work for us in the past 3 different times over the last 15 years. And apparently their experience paid big dividends, as you can see in the cost. So we recommend award to Floyd Albert in an amount of $112,110.
So moved.
Second.
Bill,
Hold
one idea. Does that include the approach bridges like the Bombville and as we learned today, we maintain those? And
Yep.
It does?
Yeah, all the concrete substructures will get looked at, and based on the reports we get from Majeski and Masters, we hope to address all the deficiencies that have been noted.
Thank you.
Floyd Albert is also a WMBE, a WBE, I should say.
Second.
Second up is,
Any other discussion? Now roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next.
thanks. The second project is up at Rip Van Winkle. The railing and sidewalk up there are 22 years old, and the railing itself is corroding from the inside out. The sidewalk, as Carl can tell you, has had problems with its surface for years, and we don't want to put a new railing on the old sidewalk and then replace the sidewalk later, so we're going to do the two of them together. Again, we had a fairly large level of interest. 23 consultants requested the proposal, but we only got 3 to return their proposal and cost. You can see on the back page it was fairly close with the cost and scope. And we'd like to recommend Greenman Peterson. They've again worked here 3 or 4 times in the last 15 years, and out of Albany, they're a very competent group. So we're recommending award of this assignment in the amount of $268,000.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next up, our system-wide street sweeping services. I don't have to repeat that. We advertised this opportunity with the authority, and we only got 1 bid back, which was from the current street sweeping contractor, Community Custom Services. So we estimate up to 45 days worth of services. We contract them in as needed, and we'd like to award this contract in the amount of $42,570.
So moved.
Second? Second. Discussion, roll call, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Next up, Barney Martin, the president and CEO of Majeski and Masters, our general consultant, is here with us today if you have any questions. But we advertised and awarded an assignment for a 3-year term 3 years ago. And within that RFP, we allowed ourselves the opportunity to extend the contract for an additional 3-year term. So based on the performance of Majeski Masters, the fact that they have their office right here in the Hudson Valley, and the fact that they've designed 3 of our 6 fans over the years, we'd like to just accept that opportunity to extend their contract. And I'd like to point out that they completed the first 3 years under budget, even though we had a number of on-call emergency services that they filled in with. So I think they're really unmatched as far as the experience they have servicing our facilities and the experience they have with our facilities.
So moved. I move.
All in favor?
And Barney's,
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Barney's here if you want to chat at all.
How's that in promotion, Bill?
Thank you.
How many people in your organization now, Brian?
185 nationwide. 185 nationwide. But we still just do bridges. That's all we do.
So do you have time to do any engineering, or you just sit?
I try to take every chance I get, me and Bill go with the bridges. So
That's the fun part, huh, Barn?
that's right. That's the only fun part.
All right, next up, TTI. They're a software consultant that services our toll system, and we advertised for this service contract maybe 3 years ago now. Last year we expanded the scope to include the work that Trimmy used to do, servicing our gates and actual toll equipment in the lane. We have the memo from Carl last year when we altered the scope. The cost for the 5 years was identified in the 5-year term contract, but we still come back to you each year to authorize moving forward with the annual payment. So $67,200 is the same amount that we paid last year for the expanded scope.
So move. Second? Oh, you're moving. You're moving it, Roger.
Oh, so moved.
Yes, you're moving it.
Pardon me?
You're moving it. You moved it.
Are we on the same one?
Yes.
Fine.
Will a reduction in the number of toll gates and our service changes affect the maintenance at a cost at all over the long term?
If we ever do reduce anything, we keep adding more and more equipment. Now we have Project Night Watch and more scanners, more antennas.
As we move towards more electronic tolling and other forms of modernization and innovation,
Less people, more equipment is the way it
they
looks
need
like.
more support of a highly technical nature.
And they've done a very good job so far on budget.
I don't think you have a second.
No, we don't have a second. Second? Any discussion? Roll call, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Jobs in progress?
And finally, right, our jobs in progress. You saw a little bit of progress here on the deck. The paint job is about 2/3 of the way complete, and we're just closing out our second year of a 3-year contract, so they're right on schedule or a little bit ahead, also on budget. We're just getting underway with our walkway over to Hudson Navigation Light project, and that's about the total scope of what we're into at the moment.
One moving, please.
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Brian?
Good afternoon. Effectively, in the month of September, there were 5 different investments made by the authority: the routine debt service, 3 to maintenance, and 1 to the construction. Rates reduced a bit since last month. Those investments are reflected in the investment inventory. As of September 30th, the authority had $105.4 million available for construction funds and maintenance reserve fund projects. Yield for the month increased slightly to 0.36, so 0.01%.
Move.
So moved. Move.
Second? Second. Discussion, roll call, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next up, our workers' comp insurance policy renews October 21st, 2013. As with the expiring policy, the state insurance fund has offered us a 35% upfront discount on the manual rates charged on each dollar of authority payroll. Based on the 2012-2013 payrolls, which is the basis for the estimate, our premium actually decreases from $304,090, which was the original premium in 2012, to $247,988. Essentially, this is a $56,102 or 18.4% reduction. This is primarily the result of reductions in rates. The only offsetting item was our experience modification, which we had discussed briefly in the past board meeting, which is based on accident history, and we have taken several safety committee initiatives to go and offset that, and we expect to see some reduction in experience modification if things continue on the current trend in the coming year. Okay, other carriers were approached as it relates to our business, and you can see 7 different carriers that either declined or weren't willing to even make a proposal because they were not competitive with the New York State Insurance Fund.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the last item is the third quarter 2013 Accident Review Committee report. There were 56 accidents on authority facilities in third quarter as compared to 43 the previous year. For context, there were 60 in 2011. There were 3 incidents involving authority personnel, the first of which was in July at Kingston, related to a tree and a tractor taking the tree down, and the tree broke in half. Recommendations were made there. On July 29th at this facility, there was an employee doing a security tour and accidentally backed into a sign and took the mirror off the vehicle. And the last was a vehicle parked at the Rip Van Winkle facility. It was not moving, the strobes were on, and a patron came by and sideswiped it. There's no action required by the board. This is just for information purposes.
Any questions? Now, Brian, thank you very much.
Thank you.
No human resources, no information technology, no operations, reports to the board by the executive director.
Nothing in the expense report to report, and you have your monthly traffic and revenue analysis report. And we are continuing to sell a phenomenal amount of easy passes in the lane, and it just keeps ticking up for us in terms of the market share of easy pass transactions to cash transactions. So we're moving all the numbers in the right direction. Revenue is kind of flat, but we're still holding our own and meeting projected targets.
Thank you, Joseph. Any questions? If not, any presentations to the board?
I think you just had one.
Any old business, new business? Attorney-client privilege, Carl? No?
Nope.
I move we adjourn.
Second? All in favor, say aye. Next meeting's November 21st, 3 p.m. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.